Okay, folks, we're back to this. Since I can't actually play any darn games, I'm just going to have to tell you about them. Ah, there it is. Today's subject: Factorio! Which I swear I can play, but I can't actually play because if I try to play it and record at the same time, everything crashes. So, as you can see, this is my new game. Standard difficulty. Your task is to launch a rocket into space from nothing and escape the planet, or at least have the ability to escape the planet. Once you beat the game, you have the choice to continue playing for absolutely no reason, which a lot of people do, so that is a thing. Here are my settings. It's all normal as far as I can tell. Like, I didn't change anything, so there's no point in showing you the rest of it. And here we are at the start. That's us in the corner there. So, first things first. Yeah. Launch a rocket into space. First things first is to gather basic resources, and those are down there in the corner. If you can't see this little mini map right here, maybe I should use a brighter color. This mini map right here, I'm actually fairly close to a few different resources of note, being the water right there, the stone and the copper, and the iron and the coal. So I'm going to need to stay in this general area at least for now. The deposits here aren't very big, so yeah, just going to have to deal with what I got. Like I said, stone, iron, copper, all that rot. Which one is this? Ah, yes. Me actually gathering the components. You start out with these two things here. And that's your automatic. That's your first mining machine, and that's your first furnace. So you need wood to go into both of these things, at least at first. So you do all that, and then you set up a little camp. Like so. You set up your mines, and then put some wood in them, and then you make a little box. You put the box in front of the miner, and then the miner puts the stuff in the box, which you then take out of the box and put it in a furnace. And that gives you more resources. Which one is this? Right, so this is another shot of the wrong slide. Okay, so first off, you need research. This is a later slide, but you get my point. This is the research device. What it is you put little science tubes in it, and it tells you how to build things. This is a power line, and this is a furnace. I think he's upset about something, don't you? So, first of all, in order to actually build an electrical grid, you need a pump, a boiler, and up to 3, I say that questioningly, up to 3 mechanical steam engines. So you build the thing, and that puts water in this thing, which you then put coal into this thing. Coal or, whatever other fuel source you're using. And that makes steam. And the steam goes all through here. And then the electricity goes into the nearby things, and that's how you get your electric grid. Technically, I don't need as much energy as I can get off of these things at this point in time. But I'm going to need a lot of power very soon. Some of you might notice, if you've actually played the game before, that I haven't done a lot of automation at this point. Well, you don't actually have to. You see, there's a stage where you get little gray burner flipper robots. And I said, no, I will not do that. So instead, I went straight for the kill and skipped that whole thing. I believe this is the right picture. Yes, this is the right picture. So this is my little campsite from earlier. I have the mine, the box, the electric arm, the furnace, an arm, and a box. And then there's these two down here. You put coal in the miner, which brings up iron, which automatically gets put into the box. The arm gets the stuff out of the box, puts it in the furnace. The furnace, which receives coal from this box, gets coal, and then the plate comes out of here from the arm takes it and puts it in the box. And then voila, you have automatic plates. In this case, this is the iron setup. Maybe I should use a lighter color. My coal. And as you can see, I've made the electric line go from all the way up there, as you can see on the mini-map here, from the water source here all the way down to this clearing, which I am using as my main camp for now. But also, as you can tell, the other resources are way up here. So that's where conveyor belts come in. Conveyor belts, if I have a picture of them. Conveyor belts. Here's some of them. So this is actually the conveyor belt that goes from my stash of copper, and right now it's going down by the stone resources. But eventually I drag it all the way down so the lid comes back to my little camp. These are conveyor belts. They only go one direction, and they can't do corners. There are actually some severe limitations with using conveyor belts, but it's simple and clean, and it's making me feel tonight. No, I mean, it's it's the beginning of the game, so I don't really have much choice. So, copper up here gets put on the line by the mechanical belt, by the mechanical arm. It comes all the way down on the belt. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff yet. You are getting sleepy. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff yet, but that's over there just in case I need it. Well, I say just in case, but you will need it. Stone is important. It does stuff you need to do. The furnaces, for instance, are made of stone. The miners, you need stone to make them. So you will need a supply of stone, at least somewhat handy, and on a fairly regular basis. So you will need to mine stone. That is something I cannot stress enough because I have had so many times where I'm like, crap, I need stone again. Okay, so that's the electrical grid. This is the research tree. You start here. Let me get a lighter color. You start here. Automation. It costs 10 red science bottles, which I'll just call science bottles. They're like Elsner flasks with like red liquid in them. I don't understand how you grind all the stuff in it down to a liquid form, but you know, that's video games for you. That's my science bottles. And as you can tell, there is a lot of stuff to do here. So automation is first, and this is the machine that builds machines. Well, for the most part. This is like the basic first little square thing where you put stuff in it and you get other stuff out. I forget where I am on the slides. Okay, so that's after I researched automation, and I'm on to the next project, which is indicated right here. And of course, I have a whole extra bunch of resources, because cha. Like cha, oh my god, Becky. So in the meantime, I'm trying to organize my base so that it can automatically research for me. This is that conveyor belt from the copper. We'll just call it COP for short. Yeah, I bet you didn't realize that's what that's short for, huh? So, as you can see here, we have a specimen of the copper, which goes down the belt, gets picked up by the arm, put in the box. The other box takes out the copper, and puts it in the and puts it in the furnace. Isn't he cute? Okay, so the copper is made into plates in here, and then this one takes them back out and puts them in the box. This, of course, is where I have a stash of fuel, which, when necessary, goes back into the furnace. Now, this constructor, or I forget what you call it, manufactory. This manufactory is the one that has the science recipe in it. It's just some copper plates and gears. But of course, you can't just naturally form gears. That's where this one comes in. See, this one, if you put in iron, it makes gears. And then this arm takes the gears here, and then with the copper, it makes research, which is then automatically taken by the arm and deposited in the researcher. You can also see down there in the corner there, that's my coal and iron setup. So, I've got the electrical grid, the copper, the stone, the iron, and the coal. Now, if you turn it sideways and put some eyes on it, it's an elephant. It go, whoop. So, yeah. This is this is the first episode. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna do any more because that's this is extremely time consuming. Here is an aerial view of my crash site. Sorta, kinda, the area I control now, which covers more than just one screen, so I wasn't going to be able to fit it all in here anyway. So, like I said, way up here is the copper, which comes down the line over to here where it's manufactured. I've got quite a little setup for my iron here. The miner is set to pour into a box, which has to go to an arm, which goes to a conveyor belt, which goes to an arm, which goes to a furnace, which goes to an arm, which goes to a box. See, it sounds really convoluted and overly complicated, but that's just how this game is. And besides, if I lost you now, there's no way you'll survive to the next side. Of course, over here by the water, there's my electrical system. Still only running on 3 engines. And of course, the electrical goes like all the way down here and all the way up there. And all the way down here. Eventually, you're going to have like this huge network of arteries. That's what it reminds me of. Like, this is basically your heart of your base. The beating, thrumming heart, which gives energy to the rest of the mechanics in the body that is your base. And conveyor belts and stuff would be like the spinal cord, which sends the necessary information to the different parts of your body. I suppose the processors themselves would be different types of cells in this analogy. I don't know if a lot of people understand what I'm talking about here. But yeah, as you can see up in the corner, I've done a tiny bit of research, but then I got tired and I'm like, no one's going to watch this anyway, so why bother? But yeah, I've been trying to get something about this up for a while, and it was either do this or film it on my cell phone, which honestly might be easier. I don't think so. And believe it or not, it's only been 21 minutes this whole time, so yeah, that was still the length of an actual video, regardless.